In this second group of exercise, we're gonna run through three things. Again, supersets once again. First one, the step up, which are gonna provide you a progression of. Next up, the dips, again, a good way to work on upper body strength and a few different ways to progress or regress that movement. And then third one is a side plank variation, very good at improving lateral hip strength. So to get started here, again, we're gonna work on a step up. So at home, obviously I'm in a gym setting right now, so a little bit different than you'd see at home. I want you to go find either the first or second step in your stairway, or if you have something that you could elevate yourself onto, a stack of books, maybe 6 to 10 inches high, just something to elevate yourself up or to step up to for the step up. So with the step up, always focusing on alignment of the leg. As you can see, I'm slightly leaning forward here over that step. This is why I really like the second step at home, because it promotes that slight forward lean to drive up into the step up. We're just gonna go through 10 repetitions, driving up, controlling down. Again, completely putting that back foot down. You can see I'm keeping that top foot up at all times. I'm not stepping down and then coming back up. I'm just gonna roll through 10 repetitions here on each side. Again, you may notice one side is weaker or a little bit more unstable. If that's the case, you're welcome to add a few more repetitions on that side to help resolve that deficit in strength or stability. One way to make that more challenging is if you have a dumbbell at home, holding a dumbbell to the chest or a pair of dumbbells in your hands, you can add more resistance, or we can perform what's called the continuous step up. Instead of stepping down completely on the step up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up. I'm gonna still lower down, but I'm just gonna tap my toe. All my weight is through my front leg, and then I'm gonna come back and drive up. So I'm never taking the load off that top leg. And I'm just going through in a more continuous fashion than actually coming down and stepping down to the ground. So completing 10 repetitions per side on either one of those versions, and always making sure I'm controlling the position of the knee. Knee is pointing straight ahead. Second exercise, we go to tricep dips. So welcome to use the couch, a chair, the end of the couch, a coffee table. The higher you are, the easier this will be, because we'll offset some body weight. But just to show you here, if you're on, again, usually in that position, if you can hold on anything to the side that has something that's narrow, that would be a little bit easier. We want to make sure elbows are closer to in line with the shoulders rather than being too far out to the side. So first version, easier version here, if I can start with the knees bent, a little bit less body weight. As I lower down, I just want to lower down till the upper arms are close to parallel with the floor. We don't need to go much past that. I'm a little bit tight in the shoulders myself, so this is always a harder movement at the bottom for me. To make that harder, we can straighten out the legs completely. Now there's more body weight acting down to make this movement harder. So again, adjusting the height of the surface, whether you're going from a coffee table to the end of the couch to possibly the dining room table or the kitchen countertop, and then knees straight for harder version or knees bent for slightly easier, okay? Going through 10 repetitions. Third exercise, if we go down to the ground, two different ways we can do this. Essentially, we're looking for a single leg side plank, lifting and lowering that top leg to really target the hip abductors or the glutes, these muscles on the outside of the hip. Easier version, depending on how strong you are here. And I find most people are weaker here than they really expect themselves to be. So it's always good to start easy and to build. Is if we start with the elbow directly into the shoulders, we're gonna keep the knees on the ground. So we have this shortened lever, hips up and forward. So I'm in this nice straight position, knee, hips, and shoulders. I'm gonna straighten out my top leg. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna lift and lower that top leg and rest if I need to, if I feel like weak at all in that position, targeting that lateral core here on this lower side, and that bottom hip is driving the knee down into the ground to provide that support. So going through about 10 repetitions. If that's easier for you, you can go up into the full side plank here, lift and lower. A lot harder variation. You really feel that lower core, lower hip, but with those two exercises, I'm performing that on both sides. So going through 10 repetitions, you pick the variation, find what fits you. Okay? So now that you understand Those 3 exercises, the step up or continuous step up, dips, knee straight, knee bent at various levels, or the modified or full side plank with leg lift. Again, find which ones work best for you and run through an additional 1 to 2 sets to challenge yourself.